Every single country right now can weaponize. Every single citizen entity can be easily weaponized data, travel data, communication, and financial data. It has to be fixed immediately.
Welcome, everybody. We are here at the Bitcoin Policy Summit in Washington, D.C. I'm Frank Corva, the political correspondent for Bitcoin Magazine, and I'm joined by Lyudmyla Kozlovska, president of the Open Dialogue Foundation. Lyudmyla, I want to dive right in. You have a lot of experience with using Bitcoin as a money of last resort. You've been debanked. You've been testifying in front of Congress about why this is such an important issue. Please give us a little bit of a high-level overview of your experience and then what you're working on in Congress right now.
Thank you, Frank, and thank you everybody who is listening right now. So I was privileged yesterday to speak in Congress about how I use Bitcoin for human rights, how it's helped me to continue my human rights and humanitarian work, and also teach other activists to overcome transnational financial repression. This is a term we want to remember every congressperson and senator in U.S.
Could we repeat that? Transnational?
Transnational financial repression.
Okay.
What does it mean? When your bank account terminated, when your travel data weaponized, when your communication data weaponized because of the abuse of one of the most important tools, like, for example, cybersecurity or anti-money laundering regulation laws, created to combat criminal activities, but in fact used by authoritarian regimes, which is majority in this world, against Americans, against US and other Western civilization citizens. And nowadays it's also one of the most powerful tools for dictators to suppress people both domestically and internationally. So I was testifying about specific cases, what happened recently with me. Majority probably know about me that I was using Bitcoin to deliver humanitarian aid for Ukraine since Russian full invasion, when traditional financial system was completely paralyzed. Recently, I got also decisions of the court from Belgium justice, which confirm how cybersecurity laws and anti-money laundering regulation can be weaponized by third countries through their proxies, not only in the territory of the European Union, but also in the US. So because of my human rights work, I was recording testimonies of victims of torture and mass shooting in Kazakhstan in January 2021 and 2022. Then the secret agents filed against me criminal complaint, and they pretended to be just fathers of minor children. And they wanted to get my all financial data, travel data, communication data, to kind of analyze the way how I lead my team, to stop this criminal harassment. Harassment because their children were crying, watching victims of torture saying the names of their fathers committing tortures and mass shooting. It sounds completely surreal, but this was enough ground, normally, if I didn't have protection in Belgium, to transfer all my travel data, communication data, and financial data to these secret agents of Kazakhstan. I was lucky enough because of a long story of transnational repression. Belgian police didn't send it automatically. But normally, every American, every US member of Senate, Congress, EU, citizens, everybody in this situation, data will be flowing.
Yeah, very easily.
So this is very dangerous, and this is why we're working a lot on establishing Transnational Repression Act, mentioning specifically how these cybersecurity and anti-money laundering regulation weaponized, what role plays in the Financial Action Task Force, and what US Senate and Congress can do to prevent these things. Okay. So this is in a nutshell.
Okay. A lot of the Bitcoin community obviously has feelings about anti-money laundering, KYC, all of this. What's the best possible outcome with the work that you're doing?
First of all, we will prevent labeling Bitcoin and any kind of privacy payment and privacy communication tools and protect our travel data from being labeled as something negative, right? What we see right now with recommendations, which in fact regulation from the side of Financial Action Task Force, that they claim that all of these tools are used by only terrorists, only extremists, for illicit activities, which immediately discourage any kind of people to invest in it, users to use it, right? And regulators put more and more regulatory complexity. We want to have neutral language. We want to have a clear procedure why this technology labeled in this way. We need to have a process of appeal. And we need to have solution that privacy is not something which is bad. It's actually the main right, and this right has to be protected. And Bitcoin, as a key component of privacy, has to be protected.
Okay. I want to know what a little bit of what the negotiation process looks like. So personally, when I've spoken with politicians about privacy, if that regards crypto mixers or even just an app like Signal, which preserves our privacy and messaging, there is this worry that potentially some sort of terrorist activity could take place. And I think that's a legitimate worry.
Absolutely.
I think politicians have to think about that. So how do you negotiate that with them?
We say that police, judges, and prosecutors has to receive more funding and power, while these important functions of distribution of the power, which were constructed hundreds of years ago, should not be delegated for private institutions. For example, they should not be expecting that financial institutions like banks, crypto asset services providers, exchanges, wallets, messengers would replace police, prosecutors, and judges. They have no capacity, they have no financial intentions, they just have no expertise even. How, if state is not able to differentiate which countries they should cooperate and send intelligence data or not, how bank, how exchange, how wallet, how any kind of startup developing privacy tools can understand this? So we believe it's huge unproportionate approach, and it's not correct, and this is something has to be fixed.
Okay. When you work specifically with lawmakers, politicians, bureaucrats here in the United States, can you speak to the idea of American values, freedom, right? So certain freedom to transact, freedom to communicate, all of this. Does this have an impact necessarily, especially in the United States, or not so much, or sort of the way people think about, based on the fact that we've had the Bank Secrecy Act now since 1971. So when it comes to money, this ability to surveil transnational or international transactions, is it difficult to get people out of thinking about, thinking in terms of this way that they've thought now for 5 decades? Is it difficult to sort of shine a different light on things or to get them to see it from a different angle?
We met with more than 70 offices in Congress and Senate, and I would say that we presented this issue of weaponization of cybersecurity laws and anti-money laundering regulation from the perspective of national security. It's not something abstract. It's not only about privacy-specific tool or technology. It's about national security, financial integrity of the US.
Okay.
Every single country right now can weaponize. Every single citizen entity can be easily weaponized data, travel data, communication, and financial data. It has to be fixed immediately.
Okay.
And we have evidence. We have decisions of the courts. We have all arguments and testimonies on this regard. Nobody even tried to undermine it because it's just written and it's a fact. There is no remedies. There is no remedies. And we say that for the moment, the only tool what we can use is only Bitcoin peer-to-peer transaction. And there is a problem that you label these important tools with negative connotations. You say that privacy tools like mixers and peer-to-peer transactions, facilitators of peer-to-peer transactions, they can be illicit activity tools or, for example, can be involved in these criminal activities. But what you give us as a solution, of course, bad actors can use every single technology. You're not going to ban it. So for this reason, it's important to have more resources for police, more resources for prosecutors and judges. So every single entity and individuals, they have remedies. They have different stages how they can protect themselves. So we didn't have a part of Senator Warren, I would say, office. They were absolutely speechless. But with other offices, we were quite okay, I would say. And we're happy to continue work on it.
Okay. For the people listening who appreciate the ability to transact peer-to-peer, obviously with Bitcoin, with other cryptocurrencies as well as people who like the broader array of freedom tech that's being developed around the world, what can they do to support the efforts that you're making?
First of all, speak to your congressman, your senator, to raise awareness that you don't want your cybersecurity data and anti-money laundering regulation data. It's everything. It's your travel, communication, it's your insurance, it's your financial data, it's even your driving license and everything around your car data. It's all stored in different kind of compliance boxes. You don't want this to be weaponized. And you demand protection. This is number one. Second, it's about communication specifically and how Financial Action Task Force classify or box these important privacy communication tools right now, and forcing messengers providers to demand from your ID in the future or right now, like it's happening in European Union already, or, for example, other measures like AI components to screen your messages if you don't commit any kind of crime. Don't allow it. Be clear about it. And support organizations like us with donations so we can continue our work and inform you.
Anything else we didn't touch on that you want to mention?
I mean, join us, join our coalition in defense of privacy, in defense of Bitcoin peer-to-peer transactions, and actually our free and responsible world.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a responsibility we have as Bitcoiners, as freedom advocates. So you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Lyudmyla, thank you so much for the work that you're doing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Love to meet you.